Hello, guys, and welcome to my week 5 reaction video with slight bit of tidbit from every game that I saw. Thank you and enjoy the video. Lord Almighty! What is going on in this game? We're gonna score 23 in the first half because we're San Fran. We're gonna look like we're gonna bully the Cardinals into submission. How in the world did we lose with more TOP? Oh, we had a fumble lost. We also had 2 picks over their 1 pick. We don't have a closer to close the game because McCaffrey's not here. What in the world? We're the Cardinals. Not only are we going to play some shutdown defense in the second half, but we're going to make it look like we are an actual legitimate team. Kyler Murray, not the greatest game, but James Conner coming in the clutch. Same with Kyler in the run game. Let's just run these guys over and make them think that we don't have it. We're the Buccaneers. We're supposed to have a well-coached defense. But we're going to go up against our division rival that can essentially take first in the division with a win, and we are going to get slapped around by a primetime Kirk Cousins? What the hell are we doing? We're the Falcons. We have Kirk Cousins, who's not supposed to be good in primetime. We have a Kirk Cousins that, for whatever reason, is playing better in primetime this year than any other year in his career. Oh, he's got a lot of weapons. Surprising it took till week 5 to come alive. Was it a fluke? I honestly say so. For the Jets, we fired Robert Saleh today because of the way that he started off this season. Not being able to develop Zach Wilson apparently is a no-no. Even though, how are you going to develop a guy who's just constantly getting mauled by defensive opposition? And then, oh, hey, turns out that if the wide receivers aren't on the same page and they're not willing to try and go up for balls that are signature throws by Rodgers, we're going to lose the game because of who? Stephon Gilmore. We're the Vikings. Well, we didn't look good in the second half with only 6 points scored. We did enough in the first quarter, shutting out the Jets and making them look absolute miserable. What are we going to do after our bye week? We're going to take on the Lions to show whether we're really worth our grain and salt. We're the Bears. Caleb Williams is still the savior. We don't care who we're playing. Obviously, we're making things work. Obviously, we're not going to let Andy Dalton do anything to us. Oh my goodness, did you see that first touchdown to DJ Moore? J.C. Horn looked like he just gave up on the play. But we're still going to say that he's a bloody savior when they're playing the worst team in football. Goodness, man. The Red Rocket can't carry us anymore. What in the world is going on? I thought we had a legitimate team. Nah, as it turns out, it takes a little bit more than a resurgence at quarterback to make a bad team good. Should our head coach be fired? Or should we actually acquire some talent and not trade it all away? Only time will tell. Good Lord, man. What a game this was. Whoever thought that Burrow would be the one to throw a pick that led to the Ravens, being able to come back in this game? Justin Tucker, talk about unconscious, but we've known that for years. This guy's going to play until he's 50 at this rate. Has the record 66-yard field goal and just keeps on stuffing it down the field goal's throats. How much more abuse can these field goal poles take? We're the Bengals. Not only will our defense talk shit, but they won't ever back it up after they do. We're just going to let Lamar do a double stiff arm on a guy after he's playing, I'm blind, I can't find the football patty cake on the stadium floor. And then run out, double stiff arm a guy, and then bomb it to Isaiah Likely, who looks like he could arguably be the best tight end in the league this year. We're just going to look like we don't have a defense at all. Goodness gracious, no, Josh Allen, you were so hot. What, did the Ravens break you? 9 completed passes out of 30? This is the most wildest crap I ever heard. You know, it's still kind of crazy with how bad he did that he was able to eclipse over 100 yards. And it's like, yeah, with such an inconsistent game, you would have thought, oh, this guy's throwing picks for days. His confidence must be really low. No, he's going to throw 9 completions, 1 TD, and 0 interceptions and still be in the game. How wild is that? We're the Texans. Not only are we going to get way the heck ahead, but we're not going to score a touchdown after the first quarter because, hey, we want our kicker to get his reps too and get his points. What in the world is going on? We do not look like ourselves. One of our touchdowns was essentially free with Nico Collins running free. But is it going to be worth the amount of time he may miss with a hammy? Who knows? We're the Colts. Not only are we playing Flacco, but Flacco's going to play good. And Flacco's going to nuke on the Jaguars. But our defense is going to make the Jaguars look like they should be a top offense this year. The winless Jaguars in Jacksonville still uphold this curse over the Colts. But with 5 minutes remaining, oh no, we're not going to win. We're just going to let Alec Pierce look like he's a friggin' one of the best weapons in the league. Get this guy a medal for keeping this team in games. Because it happened week 1 with Richardson bombing it to him. And now it happened this week, drawing us ever closer to beating Jacksonville in Jacksonville. But nah, we're going to lose. And we're going to let them kick a last-second field goal for the win. Goodness gracious, Jacksonville. Thank you for getting on in the win column for the first time this year, so that there are no teams that are completely winless. What a shit show. What in the world did we watch? Huntley played better with a stacked team, but then we have Brissett throwing it for 34 times and having the same amount of completions as Huntley. Both of these career backups were very average. Guess who wins? The team that I predicted that has less talent. Or has more talent, that has more talent than the Patriots. If you're only able to edge the Patriots by 5, you aren't beating many other teams. Crazy to think that the Dolphins' season isn't completely ruined, despite looking like it's been pretty hopeless since Tua went out. Please, Tua, we need you to come back and save this season. Oh boy! Jaden Daniels. Not only is he stuffing it down these guys, but he's not even going to complete 15 passes. If you would have told me that Jaden Daniels would have only had 5 more completions than Josh Allen, but over 100 yards more, I would have been like, you're insane, man. As well as a pick against what used to be a respectable defense in the Browns. Why the hell am I not hearing about Stefanski being fired, but Robert Saleh being fired? The Browns are a bottom of the barrel team mentally right now. On paper, they still got one of the best teams. Maybe Nick Chubb comes back and he starts to really stuff it down every team's throat. But who the hell knows? And as of right now, the Commanders are firmly in first in their division. Playing with fire. Let's hope it continues so that the Cowboys can't win the division. What in the world is going on in Denver? After 2 seasons of this piss-poor Russell Wilson play, they are looking like they are out for revenge. Hardly any talent. A quarterback that is playing well and getting into spats with Sean Payton. What in the world is going on here? Denver, the first quarter, a big old goose egg. And then you're telling me that, oh, hey, they're going to come out and they're going to start to really wail on the Raiders, who aren't going to score anything in quarters 2 and 3 after leading the game 10-0. Bo Nix, God bless you. We're the Raiders. Amidst a controversy with Adams, amidst a controversy with apparently clickbait over Max Crosby and Devontae Adams having to be in a package deal. What the hell is going on with this franchise? You get Crosby back, but he isn't able to stop the menace that is Bo Nix. The future the Drew Brees 2.0? Who knows? We're the Packers. Not only is Xavier McKinney going to do something that's never been done since the merger and have 5 picks over 5 games. Oh no, I don't care that one was a drop against the Vikings. I do not care. You guys can complain all you want about that. It's in the stat sheet. It is in the history books. And there's no way for them to go back and refrain that. Maybe they should hire some refs that can actually see. We're the Rams. We're contenders as long as we have Stafford. But Kyren Williams is going to stuff his run game and his determination down the Packers' throats. Even though we got some makeshift boony O-line that nobody's ever heard of most of these guys, unless you're a Rams fan. Is it Kyren Williams and the Rams? Maybe. Is it the Packers' defense and their lack of run commit? Possibly. Who knows? And only time will tell. We're the Giants. Not only is Daniel Jones playing the best of his career, but he's going to do it without Malik Neighbors. How in the world are we going to nuke a team that has been, scoring possibly at will and coming off a loss to the Lions where they were in a fat shootout? Maybe they showed too much of their magic last week, and the Giants were like, well, this isn't going to work on us. We're only going to let up 20 to this high-powered offense. And even though Geno Smith is going to throw close to 300 yards, he's only going to have 1 TD. Yeah, we're going to lose to the Giants, whose division is crazy up in the air, besides the Commanders. Who the heck knows who's good in this division besides the Commanders? What in the world is happening in the NFL? We're Dallas, and we paid Dak the most money ever. But he's going to throw 2 picks. He's going to do things that should never be done by a QB. He's going to get sacked, and he's not going to protect the ball very well, given more than the Steelers' fair share of opportunities. Oh yeah, he's going to pass for a good amount of yards. He's going to be a fantasy wet dream, but what in the world are you doing, Dak? There is no way that most teams are going to let you get away with this. We're Pittsburgh. We're going to talk about how Russell Wilson says he's going to come back. I say screw that. You should play Justin Fields to really see what you have. And he's doing well enough to win. Not a crazy amount of yards after last week, but he's not going to turn the ball over. He's going to protect the ball, and he's going to make smart decisions against a banged up Cowboys defense that was still somehow able to get pressure. Who knows what's going to happen with Pittsburgh? We're the Saints. Derek Carr is just going to hoist one up and give a free pick early in the game when they're actually on a decent drive, screwing their entire mojo. And while their defense was still being really, really hard on Kansas City's going to cook at the end of the game. Really showing that, like, hey, you had us on the ropes, but we, without much talent, are going to still dominate you in the second half. With a second half that was a doozy, making the New Orleans look like their offense was non-existent, and then the Kansas City Chiefs not coming back to life until the fourth quarter. How in the world are the Chiefs going to continue to be undefeated? And they're not even going to need any calls this game. Who's more sick of the game-winning calls, do you think? The people that are on the opposing teams or Kansas City themselves because they know they're better than it? I'm banking that it's Kansas City and that they're determined to win without the refs pulling their way. But you guys, that is it for this week's edition of Satire Reactions to NFL Games. See you next week.